Why your soap can't beat old person smell. Feature ancient Asian cures. 안녕하세요. Welcome everyone to our channel. I'm Corey, and today we're diving into a topic that many people whisper about but rarely discuss openly. The unique scent that comes with aging. You know, what some people call old person smell.
안녕. Hi everyone, I'm Esther, and I have to admit, Corey, this is such a fascinating but sensitive topic. In Western culture, we tend to avoid talking about this, but I'm really curious about how Eastern traditions approach this issue.
Exactly. You know, Esther, in Korean culture, our grandparents used to say there's wisdom in every aspect of aging, including the scents our bodies produce. But before we dive into ancient wisdom, let's talk about what modern science has discovered. Have you heard of something called nonenal?
Nonenal? That sounds very scientific. I'm guessing that's not something our grandmothers had a name for, right?
Not by that name, no. But they definitely understood the phenomenon. So, 2-nonenal is this chemical compound that researchers have identified as the main culprit behind what we call aging scent. Dr. Dan Worsen from the University of Florida School of Medicine describes it as having a musty, oily smell, kind of like old cardboard or dusty books.
That's actually a really accurate description. I think most people would recognize that smell. But what makes this 2-nonenal so special compared to regular body odor?
Great question. The fascinating thing is that young people's skin barely produces any 2-nonenal at all. But as we age, our skin cells accumulate damage. And when the fats inside these cells oxidize, they create this compound. And here's the tricky part. It's fat soluble, which means regular soap and water can't easily wash it away.
Oh, wow. So that's why some people say it doesn't wash off with soap. That makes so much sense scientifically. But I'm really curious, how did people in traditional Asian cultures deal with this if they didn't have our modern understanding of chemistry?
This is where Eastern wisdom really shines, Esther. While Western science focuses on the specific molecule, traditional Korean, Chinese, and Japanese medicine looked at the whole person. They didn't see aging scent as just a smell problem. They saw it as a sign that the body's internal balance was shifting.
That's such a different perspective. Can you explain what you mean by internal balance?
Absolutely. In traditional medicine, we believe the body is like a miniature universe. When the flow of qi, that's life energy, and blood circulation becomes unbalanced, it shows up externally. Think of it like a clear spring becoming muddy, or stagnant water developing a bad smell. The same thing happens in our bodies when waste products build up and circulation slows down.
So instead of treating just the symptom, they treated the root cause.
Exactly. But ancient Chinese text, Huangji Neijing, that's the Yellow Emperor's classic of internal medicine, talks about how aging affects the balance of yin and yang energies. When yang energy decreases and yin becomes excessive, or when organ functions weaken, waste elimination slows down. This creates what they called dampness in the body.
It's amazing how that ancient understanding actually aligns with what we know about fat oxidation and waste accumulation today. So what practical solutions did they develop?
Oh, they had incredible wisdom. First and most importantly, food as medicine. Our ancestors didn't separate medicine from daily meals. They focused on colorful foods, which we now know are packed with antioxidants.
Tell me more about these foods. I'm always interested in how traditional diets supported health.
In Korea, we had fermented foods like kimchi, doenjang, that's soybean paste, and gochujang. These help gut health and a toxin elimination. Soybeans were called meat from the field because they're so nutritious. Root vegetables like ginseng and balloon flower were believed to strengthen qi and blood.
And what about other Asian cultures?
Japan had an amazing approach with green tea. They called it youth-maintaining tea because it's loaded with catechins, powerful antioxidants. They also had miso soup and other fermented foods for gut health. And in China, they followed the principle of food and medicine share the same source, using seasonal ingredients to balance yin and yang.
The fermentation theme keeps coming up. That's so interesting because we're just now understanding how important gut health is for overall wellness.
Exactly. And hydration was crucial too. Our ancestors said water is the source of life, not just for thirst, but to cleanse internal impurities and help circulation. They especially valued that first glass of water in the morning to wash away overnight waste buildup.
That's something I can definitely relate to. But what about external care? If 2-nonenal doesn't wash off easily with regular soap, how did they handle skincare?
They were so smart about this. Instead of just scrubbing the surface, they focused on skin health itself. Korean women used camellia oil and apricot corn oil for moisturizing. These natural oils might have actually helped dissolve some of those fat-soluble compounds we're talking about.
Oh, so they were using oil to fight oil, in a way?
Yes, and they used gentle, natural cleansers like ground red beans and mung beans instead of harsh soaps. The hot spring culture in Japan and the bathhouse culture in Korea weren't just about getting clean, they promoted circulation and helped eliminate toxins through the skin.
It sounds like they understood the importance of supporting the body's natural detox processes. But Corey, I have to ask, are there modern factors that might make aging scent worse than it was for our ancestors?
Such a perceptive question, Esther. Yes, absolutely. Modern medications can definitely affect body odor. Some drugs for high cholesterol, ADHD, and depression can change how much we sweat or alter the chemical composition of our sweat.
That makes sense. Are there other factors people should be aware of?
Hormonal changes are huge, especially for women going through menopause. When estrogen levels drop, it affects skin moisture and oil production, which can increase 2-nonenal production. Some women consider hormone replacement therapy, but that needs careful discussion with healthcare providers.
And what about sudden changes in body odor? Should people be concerned about that?
This is really important, Esther. If someone's body odor changes dramatically and suddenly, it shouldn't be ignored. Sometimes it can signal underlying health issues like diabetes, liver problems, kidney disease, or even certain cancers. Traditional Chinese medicine actually used smell as one of their diagnostic tools.
Wow, so they were way ahead of their time in recognizing that body odors could indicate health problems.
Absolutely. They had 4 diagnostic methods, and one involved smelling and listening to assess the patient's condition. It's amazing how ancient wisdom aligns with modern medical understanding.
So, what's the bottom line for people dealing with aging scent today? How can we combine traditional wisdom with modern knowledge?
I think the key is taking a holistic approach. First, lifestyle changes. Eat those colorful, antioxidant-rich foods our ancestors valued: vegetables, fruits, whole grains, fermented foods. Stay hydrated with plenty of water. Exercise regularly to promote circulation, but shower afterwards to remove sweat and waste products.
And for skincare specifically?
Since 2-nonenal is fat-soluble, gentle cleansers that can remove oils work better than regular soap. But don't over-cleanse, that damages the skin barrier. Moisturize consistently and choose breathable natural fabric clothing like cotton or linen.
And what about seeking professional help?
Definitely. If there are sudden changes in body odor, see a doctor to rule out underlying conditions. Check if medications might be contributing. Some people benefit from nutritional counseling to optimize their antioxidant intake.
And traditional medicine approaches?
Traditional Korean and Chinese medicine view aging scent as waste accumulation and poor circulation. Practitioners might recommend herbs that support liver function and detoxification, or acupuncture to improve circulation. For example, Artemisia is known for supporting liver function and helping eliminate toxins.
This has been such an enlightening conversation, Corey. It's fascinating how traditional wisdom and modern science complement each other.
I'm so glad you found that helpful, Esther. The most important thing to remember is that aging scent is a natural biological phenomenon that we can understand and manage. We don't need to be embarrassed about it.
Exactly. Instead of hiding from it or feeling ashamed, we can approach it with knowledge and compassion.
Like an old tree that develops a deep, rich fragrance over time, our aging journey can have its own dignity and grace. If you notice aging scent in yourself or someone you care about, approach it with understanding and share the wisdom we've discussed today.
That's such a beautiful way to think about it. Thank you for sharing both the scientific insights and the traditional wisdom with us today.
Thank you, Esther, and thank you to everyone watching. Remember, aging gracefully means embracing all aspects of the journey with wisdom and care. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more content where Eastern wisdom meets Western science.
And don't forget to share this with anyone who might benefit from this knowledge. Until next time, take care of yourselves inside and out.
See you next time, everyone. 다음에 또 뵙겠습니다.